Good morning, everybody.
Hey you, yes, you. Put down the remote and pick up the frying pan.
It's time for breakfast.
Welcome to the best place to prepare for Rise Online. This is The Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Rise Church. How you going?
Welcome to The Breakfast Show.
My name is Eden Houlihan and this is my co-host,
Bailey Anne-Marie Clift.
How you going?
I'm really good. How are you, Eden?
Very good. JK, it's Kathy and Carly, guys. We are not Eden and Bailey. But hopefully you'll have a good morning with us anyway.
We've got a very special guest with us today.
Oh, yes, we do. We do. And before we get into that, grab your friends, grab your fam, grab your breakfast, grab your Bibles, and we're going to get into it. Let's introduce him, hey? What's your favourite thing about our guest, Carly?
I think I can speak for the whole church that his laugh is definitely one of the best things about him.
Oh, okay. He's a very nice guy, isn't he?
Yes, a great man of the Lord.
Yes, okay. Let's just introduce him. Man of the Lord. Yes, our guest this morning is a very special man of the Lord. As you can hear, we're going to introduce him because we are excited to have him on the show with us. His name is... Our guest is...
Zach Finch!
Zach Finch, come on down!
Yeah,
Do, 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 do.
it's great to be with you guys today. I feel very blessed,
Thanks for
very
having
honoured.
I was going to say, thanks for having us, Zach.
We're good.
Who's keen for communities? I'm
Oh.
ecstatic.
Do you wanna
I'm
host the show?
ecstatic.
Do you
Oh,
wanna-
sorry.
No, that's all good.
I actually would like your job. You're right. You right?
No, we
You have
are
to
really
get hired.
keen. Oh, sorry. Keep it to right. Very rude. Now, Zach, for those of who?
Of them, I think.
For those of them?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right. For those of you who don't know Zach, yeah, I guess I'm talking to them, not you now. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Fun facts.
Fun facts.
Yeah.
I am 19.
Young.
Fun fact number 2.
Oh,
I am normal height.
what is normal?
I don't know. I actually
Okay,
have
well-
no idea how tall I am. I'm
I
this
guess
tall.
that's pretty normal then.
So
Yep.
that's pretty normal.
Cool.
Fun fact number 3.
Yes.
I am studying law and international development at uni.
Wow.
Oh, fancy. Get that degree.
I hope so.
Yeah, get it.
If I don't fail all the courses,
No, do it.
hopefully.
Yeah, what made you choose to study that, Zach?
I care about justice,
Mm,
and this is a really cool avenue to pursue that.
awesome. That's actually
What a great answer. That was a very good answer.
One thing I really love about you, Zach, is you love justice. You got a good heart. That's what I mean.
So,
Nice. And how long have you been at Rise Church? Been going to good old Riz?
a very long time. As you can see, I'm very mature, very old. Been here.
We should guess how many years he's been here. I'm going to say...
Pre-beard. That's what I remember.
Pretty bit. I'm going to say he's been here for 10 years.
10 years. I reckon year 9. So how, year 9?
How old was he then?
That was pretty close, Kathy. I think I came in year 8,
Oh, nice.
So how many years is that?
like 6.
Yeah, don't
So I
ask
was
me.
like 13.
You're
Like 13.
13. Wow, very long time. Longer than us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely longer than me.
Thank you.
When did you guys go to church?
Oh, okay. Me personally, 2013, got a text message from Eddie in year 12 saying, come to youth. And I'm like, yeah. And here I am.
I came to church in 2015. I think the first time I ever came to church was at a Youth Alive conference.
Mm.
And then God changed my life there. So,
Oh,
yeah, that
he
was
changed
cool.
it, all right. Does that
Here,
sound-
here,
Does that
here
sound
we
bad?
are.
Oh, so good. I remember,
Oh, gosh.
for those of you who don't know, Carly and I are sisters. I remember when I first started coming to church and Carly didn't go to church yet. I used to listen to, sorry to expose you, I used to listen to worship music in my room. And I used to sing out loud. And some of the lines had Jesus in it. good lines. And I used to sing about Jesus, and I used to yell out Jesus, like Jesus, Jesus. And Carly, I remember in her room, when I sang that song, she'd be like, Jesus! And then...
In my defense, right, when I went to school, we would sing songs about Jesus, and that I would be like, I don't want to sing songs about Jesus at school. And she was doing it on purpose at home. And I was like, I couldn't
'Cause I love the Lord.
I couldn't comprehend the fact that she would purposely sing songs that we were forced to sing at school. And so I was like,
And now
why?
look at you. Now
I
look
love
at you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Now you're on the worship team.
I know, I was gonna... Yeah.
Sorry, stole
I'm
it.
also on the
Yes.
worship team, yes.
Who's singing about Jesus now?
All of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. You love Jesus, don't you, Zach?
Quite a bit, I'd say.
Nice. How did you come to know him? Tell us. Very quickly, because we...
Very quick.
very limited time.
Speed. Okay,
Well, we
so
have
I was introduced to Jesus by my parents
Nice.
and like going to church when I grew up, and then I took that on for myself when I started pretty early, but really when I started coming to Rise in year 8.
Nice. Shout out to Louise Finch.
Yeah, Mama LJ.
Dad Finch. What's your
And Dad Finch. I think his name's just Dad. No, it's Shane. I love Shane.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. All right. We're going to have some fun this morning. We're already having some fun.
Mate, I'm having a great time.
Excellent. Excellent. We're going to do a fun game. Since you study law, Zach, we're going to do a game called...
Law or lie?
Look into the
Oh,
Law or lie?
Law or
my
lie.
goodness,
Yeah.
those two words, they start with the same letter. Did you do that on purpose?
Yes. What's it called? Alliteration?
Alliteration. Man, these
Yes.
guys are smart.
Thank you, Eddie. This is going to be fun. We are going to, since you study law, we're going to see how good you are at knowing your laws.
I hope none of my lecturers are listening to this.
We're going to read you some laws, all right? And you're going to tell us whether they are a law, a real law, or...
A lie.
Thank you. Again,
I'm
we
reading
did not,
them out.
we
I'm
did not
reading
get
them
paid
out.
for this. Yeah, so we're just going to get straight into it. We'll read you a law, and you guys can play at home. Comment, by the way. Comment with us. Interact with the fam, the church fam, in the comments below.
Do it.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
There's no
With all-
subscribe button, but
Yes, there is on-
yes, on YouTube. Sorry. Like and subscribe. Yes. No, good job, baby. Yeah. Share this link below.
Okay,
No, seriously.
let's start with the first one.
Just on that sharing. You never know who could see this service right now, you know? Like your friends, your family that don't know Jesus. If you're new here, hello. We're not weird.
Welcome.
But yeah, share it, alright? Fun fact, my uni friend saw the link the other day. Praise the Lord.
That's so good.
Share. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, like I said 4 times before. Carly, do you want to do the first one?
Okay, so the first one
Law or
is
lie? Don't pause.
It's great.
Hey, don't pause too much.
in Western Australia, it is illegal for people to have more than 50 kilograms of cucumbers in one place. Is that a law or is that a lie?
50 kilos. That's a lot.
50 kilograms of cucumbers.
Look, I have 0 clues, but let's think about this. In Western Australia, I think it's dry. Cucumbers are quite moist. So
Yes.
maybe they're like, spread the moisture. You cannot keep it all for yourself. Sharing is caring.
Hey, you do
We
the.
want to make sure everyone gets the cucumbers. I'm going to say it's a law.
And that's your final answer?
Yes.
Kathy, do you wanna Kathy, do you wanna
Zach Finch. It is a lie. Well, no, indeed. You fool. In Western Australia,
exposed.
it is illegal for people to have more than 50 kilos of potatoes in one place.
There's no moisture in potatoes.
Silly sight. You silly sausage potato.
I like where you were going with that though. That was great.
Police even have the right to stop and search people and vehicles if they suspect that they might be in possession of more than 50 kilos of potatoes.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, it's so
That's
good.
What
actually
happens
so
if you're a potato farmer and you're taking your potatoes to like sell them? You're like, oh no, arrested for stealing all of your produce. Go to jail. Do not must go. Do not collect $200.
I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
That's
I think
wrong.
this means like privately owned potatoes. Anyways, personal
Personal
potatoes.
use.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, law 2. Is this a law or a lie? I'll go. It is illegal for people to walk on the right-hand side of a sidewalk in busy Australian streets. Is that a law or a lie?
It's a lie. What do you mean?
It is
That's
illegal
rubbish.
for people to walk on the left-hand side of a sidewalk.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah.
No, that's a lie. You're meant to walk on the left.
Apparently,
Aren't you meant to walk on the left?
Zach Finn,
I've been walking wrong all my life.
that is a law.
What the heck?
It is illegal for people to walk on the right side of the road.
Wait, hang on. You
Yes.
said
What did I say?
left.
Guys,
Moving
Zach
on.
was actually right. That was a lie.
Dun,
So
dun,
you can walk on the left side of the sidewalk. He's not reading our notes properly. It is illegal to walk on the right side of a sidewalk. So
Okay.
you're right. It was a lie. Ignore Kathy. He just said it was law.
Okay.
Dang it.
We teach you a lot of things here at Rise Church.
Can
like
I
how
go
to
again?
walk.
I'm gonna go again.
No, that's hilarious. She said law when it was a lie.
Can I go again?
Should we go again? Well,
Hey, this is-
you want to redo the second one?
No. Yeah. How does that work? I meant like go have a turn, another turn.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so
One more.
this is our
Our
last
producers are
one.
telling us to wrap it up. Wrap it up.
It is illegal to take a pigeon you find on Australian streets as a pet.
I'm just imagining some random guy just walking around just kidnapping pigeons and then some politician's like, we have to stop this. This is terrible. How could you do that? That pigeon was free. Now you've trapped it and oh man.
Just
So I'm going to read that out again. So it is illegal to take a pigeon you find on Australian streets as a pet. Is that law or
Yeah,
lie?
look, I mean, I don't really like pigeons. I don't think many people do, which means I don't think anyone would bother making that a law. So I reckon that's a lie.
what a conclusion. What is it called?
Well, you're wrong, because that is well, that is a law. It is illegal to take a pigeon you find on Australian streets as a
Don't touch those pigeons.
I need to go release some pigeons, looks like. Whoops.
That was a joke for everyone.
I don't actually have pigeons.
All right, that was Law or Lie with Zach Finch. Thanks for being on the show with us, Zach.
Dude, thanks for having me. It's been
Anytime. Now, I don't know how we normally end these things, but it was your birthday the other day. Was that right?
great. You know it.
I know it. I put it in my calendar. But I haven't seen you until now. So we have a little gift for you. If, Eddie, our camera guy,
Surprise.
/
I actually didn't know that.
can you?
Oh,
Oh,
look at that bag. That bag is so cool.
that's so
Have a look inside. I know the viewers would want to see.
all the presents.
Comment happy birthday to Zach. Tag
my
whoever's
goodness.
birthday it is.
Tag someone's birthday.
Anytime, we love you.
How good.
Now we don't do this for all guests, but
Yeah,
it's just a
because
special. You're
I'm
special.
cooler than most of them. Dude, that's awesome.
You're a man of the Lord.
I'm a man of the Lord.
Yeah.
You know it. Oh, thanks so much, guys.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show. We'll see you next week at The Breakfast
Like
Show.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook.
Hi, Lindy. Bye.
Welcome to Rise Online. We're so glad you could join us for this special Community Sunday. If you're new or this is your first time, we'd love to get to know you and help you to become all God has called you to be. You'll see in the comment section a pinned comment saying, I'm new here. If you like that comment, one of our team will get in contact with you, connect with you, and help you to become all God has called you to be. You know, we've got a bunch of stuff happening for Community Sunday, but we would love if you could just take a moment to prepare yourself as we enter a time of worship. We really believe that worship sets our heart and sets the atmosphere for the rest of the day. And so why don't you join me in worshiping our God together?
Come join with us as we worship God together. There is a sound I love to hear. It's the sound of the Savior's robe as He walks into the room where people pray, where we hear praises He hears faith. There is a sound I love to hear. It's the sound of the Savior's robe as He walks into the room where people pray, where we hear worship He hears faith. Awake my soul and sing His praise aloud, sing His praise aloud. my voice and shout. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority that Jesus has given me. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority that Jesus has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won, I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all. 'Cause you are my champion, and giants fall when you. Come on, church, we sing undefeated. Every battle you've won, I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one. Come on, church, we sing together one more time. You are my champion. You are my champion. Come on, we believe it. The giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won, I am who you say I am. You crown me with confidence. I am seated in the heavenly place, undefeated, with the one who has conquered it all. God, we thank you that you fought, that you sent Jesus who died for us, and that because of that we are never ever alone. We walk with you in all things, Father. We sing from heaven. From heaven you can hear. I know you're drawing near as I worship. contained it. In you I found my rest. You were in control. Through valleys I will trust. Your spirit is enough to keep me walking. Oh, you guide my every step, Lord. You guide my every step. Speak life to me again. I need you, and oh, I need you. I lift my hands to heaven, hear my heart surrender. I tell my soul again, you are Lord of all. And though the seas are raging, you will speak and tame them. And you are found my rest. You are in control. I lift my hands to heaven, hear my heart surrender. Tell my soul again, you are Lord of all. And though the seas are raging, you will speak and tame them. And you are found my rest. You are in control. Oh, you are. You're in control. Oh, you got this, Lord. Oh, we know you do. Come on, we sing. I will trust. And I will trust in only you. No one can add to your perfection. You're the beginning and the end, more than I can comprehend. There is no one like you. No, I will trust, and I will trust in only you. No one can add to your perfection. You're the beginning and the end, more than I can comprehend. There is no one like you, no one, and I will trust in only you. No one can add to your perfection. You're the beginning and the end, more than I can comprehend. There is no one like you, Jesus. I lift my hands to heaven, hear my heart surrender. I tell my soul again, you are Lord of all. And though the seas are raging, you will speak and tame them. And you have found my rest. You are in control. Come on. 'Cause I will trust in only you. No one can add to your perfection. You're the beginning and the end, more than I can comprehend. There is no one like you, Jesus. Oh, we praise you, Lord. Oh, we thank you, Lord.
Hey, welcome to Rise Online, everybody. Number 14. You've joined us on an amazing day. It is Community Sunday, and we're celebrating because communities are back. We are off Zoom, and we are in
thank
the
goodness.
building. My name is Eddie. This is Bailey. We are joined by the amazing Pastor Lindy, our people's pastor.
Well, it's great to be here today. It's great to be with you guys today as well.
It's amazing to be with you.
So how was your Zoom experience with communities?
It's not the same.
No.
I mean, it's been so good.
Yeah.
And as much as I love seeing everybody this close up, it's nice to be back in person again.
Ours is particularly particularly ridiculous because we have all different backgrounds. So someone's in the Bahamas and someone's on the Golden State Bridge.
That's
But it's
so
good. We're all there.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so we're really excited that communities are back, and today is all about Community Sunday, and it's just letting you know what communities are all about. And you're going to hear from some amazing people that have been involved in a community. And the first person that we're going to speak to or hear from today is Lynn. And Lynn is an amazing lady. She loves purple.
And I'm so happy we didn't wear purple today.
We were
Otherwise,
about to. We would have clashed.
That's
Yeah.
right. So let's hear from Lynn.
Hello, I'm Lynn McLean. I go to the Thursday morning community group. We do not like it referred to as the seniors group. And I've been coming here to Rise, one of its many names, for about 18 years, I think. Julie mostly, but Pastor Roy has done this as well. They look out lovely old choruses that maybe we don't sing anymore, and we have really good just listening to this great music with the good words, and we love it. There's a group of about 8 to 12 of us. Sometimes it swells up to 15, and Pastor Roy and Julie run it beautifully. Apart from the connection with people, which always lifts your spirits, I think, to get with other people, I love hearing how different people respond to the same message. It's also really interesting when people don't agree with you and they bring something else out of the Sunday service or the discussion that ensues, and it's a challenge, and you think, well, I don't know if I agree with that or not. Why don't I? So I find it mentally and emotionally and spiritually uplifting to go, and just connecting with real people and seeing the expression on their faces. We've done the Zoom meetings, and I must say they are hilarious. But we've done it. But we've all agreed we like it in person better. We do talk a little bit about our challenges that we're facing, and it's interesting because on Sundays you just get to see the happy face that everyone, I don't suppose we put it on, we are happy to be there, but behind that facade of cheeriness there are lots of challenges that people are facing, and it's wonderful to, when people feel comfortable and safe enough to share the things that are their daily life. That doesn't happen every week, but every now and again someone will feel to share something that's on their heart or something that they're struggling with at the moment, and when they share with us what it is that they do, and you think, good heavens, I never knew that about that person, and I'm encouraged and amazed. And I think too, for the person sharing, they are encouraged that there are people around them who do care, and perhaps they had forgotten that. Well, to be honest, I do have to sometimes talk myself into going, because I'm not good in the morning, and if it was in the afternoon it would be much easier, but I do make the effort, because I know that if I'm feeling a bit low, or I don't do well in cold, dreary weather, I need sunshine and lots of good music, it does me good to get with other people. And so I would encourage those that don't go to a community. It is an effort, I'm not saying it's not, but make that effort, and you will find that church is brighter. You know more about who people really are. You forge friendships with perhaps sometimes unlikely people whom you wouldn't have thought you would have anything in common with when we get below the surface. So I would encourage you, if you don't go to community because you can't be bothered, because it's too hard, because it's cold at night, whatever it is, those are my reasons, please make the effort. Just go, especially now after we've all been separated for so long and people are starting to feel less connected with the church. Please come to community and just check it out. And I know that you'll be surprised at how good you feel about it, and you'll be wondering why on earth you didn't do it before.
It was so great to hear from Lynn.
Yeah, I can relate to that story because the members of my group that I lead are notorious for not rocking up when they can't be bothered sometimes. And I had this one, I think all community leaders might relate to this. There's like 1 week every so often, every few months, where just everyone pulls out. They're all working or they're all tired or whatever. And this one night I thought every single person had pulled out, but I didn't realise that there was one, Monique, was still coming.
Good
and
old
so
Monique.
like 7 o'clock, my doorbell rings and I open the door in my pyjamas and Monique's, hey, I'm here for communities. And she comes, she's, oh, you guys just look so chill. I've never seen you dress so chill before.
The way we get around that is we have free food at our community and we have a bunch of broke young people. And so they show up every week.
Every week.
Hungry.
That's fantastic, yeah. I think there's always times when people don't turn up, and it can be a bit discouraging sometimes as a leader when people don't turn up. But do you know, sometimes when there's only 1 or 2 there, they can be the most special times, and people can open up and share more than if they were actually in a bigger group. So sometimes when there's not everybody there, they can still be positive times. Yeah.
I think it's true, really, what Lynn was saying as well, that it's making the effort is always worth it when we go to communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's definitely weeks where I haven't felt like going. And when I've pushed myself to go anyway, I've been like, man, I can't believe I wasn't going to go to communities. Like, this is the place to be to, I mean, even weeks that are hard, it's a place to be to heal. It's a place where I can talk about my week. It's a place where people can pray for me. So I definitely think it's worth like pushing through and going.
I agree. And I think that if you make the effort, the benefits are there, not just for you, because one, you get so much out of it, but two, because you've got so much to give to other people sometimes. And sometimes we don't feel like we have a lot to give, but it's amazing when you have these conversations and everybody's sharing it and different aspects of things. It's incredible what can come out of a conversation. Yeah.
And that's something I like really love about this church is that, I mean, Pastor Tim and Pastor Vanessa are clear, like, ministry isn't just for leadership or preachers or something, but rather everyone has ministry in them. And so just as much as, you know, you need a community today, community needs you, because there's people there that need your prayers, they need your support, they need you to encourage them. You know, people have their own story, their own perspective, their own breakthroughs.
That's right, yeah.
And I think, like, even in my community, like, I can think of every single person that's there has impacted me in a different way. And if they weren't there, then I wouldn't have had that.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like,
I think one thing that we've talked about as well, and I think Lynn touched on it, is the different perspectives that you get from every person in the group. And, you know, you're all hearing the same sermon, but everyone's getting something different out of it. And one thing we've talked about is how, you know, I can sit here with you, Lindy, and we have this relationship, but I'll only ever know you as, you know, a friend or, you know, whatever our relationship is. But, you know, if I saw you at a dinner party, all of a sudden I can see you as a daughter and as a mother and as an employee and as a boss. Right. And I get a more well-rounded picture of who you are. And when we all, you know, we all have our own individual relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And when we come together as a community, we get a better understanding of who Jesus is, because we get that well-rounded picture of him.
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit like you can have a house and there's 4 different sides to a house. And if somebody's looking at the front of the house, they're getting a different picture of the person that's looking at the back of the house.
Yeah.
But when you put all of those thoughts and perspectives together, you get a whole picture, which is quite incredible. And it opens up people's minds and they see things differently. Yeah.
It's always funny, like, when we get together and we, like, talk about the sermon, I always hear other people's perspective and I go, are you listening to the same sermon? Like, how did you get that out of it?
Yeah.
But it's cool that, everyone there on a Sunday morning has their own way of interpreting it, their own way of, like, their own way that God's speaking to them about it.
Yeah, for those that perhaps aren't in a community, what we do is we discuss the sermon from that Sunday, and so that's what we're talking about here today, is the fact that everybody hears something a little bit differently sometimes, but when it's all put together, it is incredible what you can come away with. Yeah.
It's funny as well, if you've been in church for a long time, like, I'm only 23, so this probably come across as arrogant, but you kind of start to think, you know, I've heard it all, I know it all, you know, and then you go to somewhere like community and you hear what other people have to say and you start to realise you don't even know 1% of what you think.
That's right, exactly.
But we thought, is it worth, we should probably go to another testimony now.
Yeah.
So why don't we chuck over to John, who's going to talk about why he loves communities.
Hi, my name's John. I've been at Rise for about 6 or 7 years, and my community group is Max and Susan's, and we usually meet at the Andersons' house at least 3 years, and I've always believed that small groups are the way to go, because that's the model that Jesus presented And it's good because when you go to church on Sunday, there's just too many people, and it's just too noisy, and you can't really talk to people because everyone's got somewhere to go on a Sunday. So it was a good change to get to a small group and to get to know people better. And we chat about anything that comes up, including football. But then it's also good to talk about the sermon, and we all have different viewpoints, and we're able to share and respect each other's views. And then we bring up some personal problems that we're facing in our lives, and people pray for myself and for anyone else who brings up something that prayer is required for. Not many people may know, but I actually have a disability. Sometimes people forget about that, which is good. But everywhere I go, I always have to be aware of the access. So, and not everyone's home has the access required, but when I started going to Max and Susan's house, they cleared their cars out of the way so I could park in the driveway, and made sure I had easy access in the house. So that was great. And the people in the group are always asking if I need help with things. And then we went to the Andersons' house, and they've got a number of steps outside, and they actually made a wooden set of ramps that both Ray and I have used successfully. So it's been really good that the group that I go to was so welcoming, and trying to help people in wheelchairs. So it's been really good to feel, welcomed and loved in that way. At the beginning, I may have been a bit hesitant in sharing my life, but as I became more comfortable, I feel I can just say anything I like and share some issues or problems that I'm having in life. The past year and a half has been fully involved in moving homes, getting a home ready for sale, getting it sold, moving in, and it's been really great that a number of people in my community group has helped in various ways. So it's good that communities can join together and help each other in many ways, and you don't really get to know what the needs are of other people unless you have a good chat to them, and you can't do that on a Sunday. So getting into a community is good to hear what other people need to do in life and what help they're asking for, and it's good to be able to help them as well.
I love that story from John, and I love how there is a community for everyone, it doesn't matter what your situation is or who you are, we'll make a way for you, and there's a spot for you.
Yeah. I think about my community, and we've got some amazing women. I run a ladies' community, and we had one of our ladies come along, and she was going through her cancer journey.
Wow.
And I just love to see how the ladies got around her and around her daughter, and when she needed help financially, when she needed help to go to the hospital, when she needed support, the ladies were there. And that's what community is all about, the fact that we can be there for one another, and no matter what you're going through, it's great to be able to do life with other people. That's what it says in Galatians about carrying each other's burdens. Yes.
I mean, even in our community in the last a year and a half, we've had communities where we've gone through funerals together, people had lost their jobs, people that found their jobs. Yes. And just to think that without community, people would go through that stuff on their own. I think it's so important that people are in a community so that, you know, people can carry your burdens and people can celebrate with you and people can comfort you. And
I think one thing John touched on that I've really found in my journey is that it's not like you go to a community once and that's the fix, you know, it's just a prolonged walking with each other.
That's right.
And,
yes.
I know when I first started coming to our community with Max and Susan, I was like, I really had all my guards up and I was, you know, going through a lot of stuff personally in my life, and it felt like I was just carrying this big weight. And just slowly over time, you know, it's felt like all those people in that group have slowly taken a piece of that, and you know, you still have the, you know, the thoughts and the memories, and you know what you've been through, but you're not carrying it alone. Each of those people carry that burden with you.
That's right. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, there's people that don't have other people to talk to, and the load can become very, very heavy. And I think communities are great that, just like you're saying, Eddie, that, you know, a burden shared is a burden halved. That's what, and I think that, you know, the Word of God also says that God places the lonely in families. And so people God doesn't want us to do life alone. We're to do life together, and we're better together. And I think that that's so evident. There's so many great stories that we hear from communities about people being supported in their journey.
I mean, even like looking at my own journey in my life, I think, like, I mean, I've heard life-changing sermons here, and I've had breakthrough in worship, but it seems like more than anything, God seems to use my relationships with people to grow me. Like, and it's like, it's through me knowing people that I've been challenged and corrected and comforted and encouraged. And like, I mean, even looking over the last year, more than I can point to a sermon, I can point to relationships of someone calling me going, hey, I noticed you know, acting a bit weird lately, or like, you know, someone comforting me or someone praying for me. And it's within community that all that stuff, all that ministry happens. So.
And watching other people inspires you as well, you know, because like, for example, me and Bailey, we watch the UFC together, and when we watch it, all of a sudden we're watching them fight, and then we start looking at each other like, we're going to fight. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that happens where it's like, they're doing it, I want to do it. And I kind of feel like that with communities. It's like when you see people who are going through stuff and they just keep pushing through and keep fighting through, you know, I think if they go through that, I can do this too.
That's
and,
right, And I think the other thing is, often you'll find that perhaps somebody in your community has been through a similar situation. And so we've found some of the words of wisdom and the advice that's been given just in our coffee times or around food has just been gold. And it's just really helped navigate people through their situations, knowing that someone's been through a similar situation and has come through it.
That's so good. Well, now next we're actually going to hear from someone from my own community. We're going to hear from Dylan. So why don't we look to the screens and we'll hear from him.
My name's Dylan, I'm 19 and I go to Ryan, Rachel and Annalise's community. Been going to Rise Church for 7 years and I'm loving it. So Communities has been blessing me in a way that I can't explain. Anything else has been blessing me. It's been refining me in that fire, like the Holy Spirit has explained as that fire, and Communities has been leading me to grow in God and to just receive something that I haven't received outside, I haven't received in my daily devotion. It just provides a new depth of learning about God that nothing else can describe, really. Before I started going to Communities, I was living with my mum and my sister, and I felt like my life was just really basic, and I wasn't really doing much, and I was struggling in a lot of the areas, and I wasn't talking about things. And I remember coming to Communities and something just shifted, and as I continually kept going, started going to Ryan and Rachel and Annalise's, and it ended up being that Ryan and Rachel actually offered for me to live with them. And for me in that time, it was just the most generous thing someone could do for me. I didn't feel comfortable living with my parents anymore, and I really just needed somewhere to be that wasn't with them, and to be able to go there and to live with them, it was just such a blessing to me. And I love that Communities isn't a place that I feel unsafe, or isn't a place that, you know, people there are going to be hostile or something like that. It's a place that I can feel like I can talk to people and be vulnerable with them, and really talk to them about what I'm dealing with in the moment and what I'm dealing with long term. I feel safe and secure that they have my best interests at heart, and that they want what's best for me, and they want to see me grow in God. So honestly, without it, I don't think I'd be who I am today.
I think something that we've learned from Dylan's story and from a lot of people around our church is that if you have a desire to grow in your relationship with God and to grow spiritually, communities is one of the best places to do that, and to cultivate your relationship with God and your growth going forward.
Yeah, that's so true, Ed. And we've talked a lot about the importance of relationships with others, and communities is great for that. But we also believe that communities is great in really developing your relationship with God as well. And, you know, as we do our discussions and as we look at the Word of God and as we pray together, it gives us opportunity to learn more about God and to actually grow in our relationship with Him. Yeah.
I mean, even like one thing Dylan mentioned was like about the accountability stuff. I think in our group that's really helped us because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not the best at reading my Bible sometimes. I'm not perfect. But even something we did in our community, we started these Bible plans where we can all check it off and we all do it as a group, and we're all accountable to each other. It's been so helpful.
And I love it. You know, in our group we talk about, you know, what's God been saying to you at the moment, and it's so interesting to hear different people just share about what God has been speaking to them about, and another person might say, hey, actually God's been speaking to me about that as well, and we get into some great discussions, and because God is so active and He wants to speak to us, and it's communities is a place where we can actually encourage one another in that.
I think I've really found like there were areas in life where I thought I couldn't grow, like things were off limits to me, you know, particularly with different disciplines like saving money and stuff like that. I kind of thought that was somebody else's journey. But I found like with all these different people around me, they're like, no, we saved for a house, you can save for a house. And
so good.
You know, Kristen gives me a book and Chris shows me all this stuff, and you know what I mean? All of a sudden, like I'm on a track that I didn't think I could go down because other people have brought me to that place.
That's right, And to be able to get advice from other people, and that's what communities is all about, is actually doing life with one another. And we can learn and we can grow together, and people have experienced other things that we're yet to experience, but we can learn from them, which is great.
And then in the same vein, like in my community, people might be like, oh, I don't know how to write a resume. I'm like, oh, I know how to write a resume. I've written a resume before. Like you have stuff to give as well. So it's cool.
Excellent.
All right. So all this in mind, what's your favourite thing about communities? If you were telling someone who's never been to a community before, they should come, what's your selling point?
Oh, my favourite part about communities is the connection with people. I just love connecting with people. I love catching up with people on a regular basis and really getting to know them and actually just being able to do life with them. Love it.
I think with my community, like when I picture my community, I mean, we're spiritual sometimes, but I don't picture us like praying or like talking or being theological. I picture us like eating tacos and laughing and playing games and stuff. I actually really look forward to going to communities because as much as we do have spiritual stuff, we have so much fun and we just make fun of each other.
So good.
It's really a family, isn't it? I think that would be my thing. Like it's, you know, when I first started going to communities, I'd, you know, wear real clothes and stuff. Now I just go on my tracks pants, my pajamas. Like it doesn't matter because you know you're there with each other through every season.
That's right.
You know, like something we've talked about before is like, you know, when we were getting engaged, we told our communities first, and you know now you know we're saving for houses and our communities are helping us, and it's that every season like a family is highs and lows.
It's so good because we've got, you know, some people in our community, ladies in our community that have got older kids, and then we've got some with younger kids, and it's really beautiful to see the advice that those that have journeyed through the teenage years are able to give to others. It's great.
So Lindy, what would you say, maybe someone's watching right now that wants to get involved, maybe they've been isolated, you know, because we're in a pandemic, what would you say to them, how to join a community?
Oh, look, we would encourage you to join a community, and I'm sure after today you can't wait to join if you're not a part of one. Look, we've got communities for all different ages, and we're right from the seniors right to youth, and so just get in touch with us at Rise Church, risechurch.global, and send us a message, and we'll make sure that we'll get you into a community.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, thanks for joining us today, friends.
It's been great spending time with you boys.
Oh, it's been amazing, Mama Lindy.
Thank you, Lindy.
Can't wait to go back to your house right now for a meal. Just before we leave, we wanted to just introduce you to a few of our amazing community leaders. So if you join a community this week, this is one of the people you can expect to meet.
Hi, we're Alex and Hannah, and we have the privilege of running a young adults community.
Hi everyone, we are Mark and Daniela, and this is the Our Children, Casey and Nico.
Hi everybody, my name is Lindy, and together with Carol Kerrigan, we run the women's community at Rise Church.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Noelle, and we run a community at our home in Northgate.
Hi church, Max and Susan here, we're the leaders of Community 7. Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Josh. And this is Nehemiah.
Hi friends, I'd like to invite you to our seniors group.
Hey guys, I'm Tom and this is Rachel.
And we run a young adults couples community.
Our group has different ages in it. Some of our families have children who recently finished year 12 and some of us have grandchildren.
We've got a great group. We're aged early 20s to, not us, but early 20s to the 50s, and we've been together for a while now. And Susan?
The best part about us is that we share over a meal.
We run a community of young families and young adults. And the best thing about it is being able to just go and hang out with people, no matter what your week's been like.
We love to study the Bible, we love to talk together, we love to pray together, and most importantly, we love to eat really well together. So I want to let you know that if you're free on a Tuesday night, we'd love to see you at our house.
We have wonderful discussions around the Word. We love to pray together, eat together, drink coffee together, and we would love to see you come along and join our family.
Lead the family with children, so we meet up usually in the end of each month on a Sunday after church.
So don't think about it any longer. Come along, be part of our group, and you'll make some great friendships. And we also have a great time studying the Word of God.
We are a very friendly group, very supportive, and you'd be very, very welcome to join us.
The best thing about our community is that it's just started, so if you don't have a community, this might be the perfect one for you.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Come and join us.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao. Thanks to our amazing community leaders for all that they are doing. And I just want to say personally, I'll encourage every person to be a part of a community any way they can. You know, I really believe that as we do life together, it'll make a difference in both your life and the life of the people in that community. You can do that by going to our website, or if you're already at our resources page, ricechurch.global/resources, you'll find a direct link to joining a community. While you're there, you'll notice as well that we actually have a Bible plan available to you to grow and develop in your relationships with other people in your world. You know, we are called to be in the world, to be a part of the world, to be active in the world, and we know that healthy relationships are a key part of doing that. And so we'd love you to check that out and maybe consider doing that Bible plan in this season as you grow and develop in becoming all God has called you to be. You know, if you're a regular here or if this service has impacted you in some way, I'd love you to consider giving as part of what we do here, because we really believe that the message of Jesus Christ is an important message that we can get far and wide, and it's the generosity of the many that make this possible. It's the faithful people that have helped this church to become the church it is through their giving. And so, you know, if you're here today and you're tuning in, I'd love you to consider to give towards the work of Rise Church and making a difference with the truth, hope and love of Jesus Christ. You can do that simply by going to risechurch.global/give. You know, we'd love for you to stay up to date with everything that's happening in the life of our church. Stay up to date with our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Instagram, all our social media. Stay connected with us, stay up to date, because we want to keep you informed all that's happening in the coming days and weeks. God bless you. We pray that you have an amazing week.